You see the title. Yes, I got COVID. And when I got the news, I was shocked and surprised as someone who mostly stays to myself and was hesitant on actually sharing this experience with you just due to the stigma that's associated with this. But going to go ahead and break down the chronological days of how I felt and experienced through that. So go ahead and stay tuned. Day 1. When I started feeling under the weather. So one thing I do want to premise, I actually went on quite a bit of trips after actually being more so isolated, where I went to the Bigger Pockets conference. So I went to New Orleans, then came back to Houston. Right after that, I had a speaking engagement. So the very next day coming back to Houston, I actually flew out to Minnesota to speak at the North Star conference. And then right after that, I flew back to New Orleans for a entrepreneur conference. So I'm pretty sure that's actually what led to that and actually getting COVID. But also the question you may be asking is, are you vaccinated? No, I am not vaccinated. I plan on waiting things through from that and not taking it just yet if I ever take it. But that's another story in itself. So day 1, I started feeling under the weather, which when weather changes, which I've actually started to experience here in Houston, is when it changes dramatically, that's when I start to get the sniffles. So at that point in time, I really didn't think anything of it and just thought I was getting just another common cold. Went out for a quick workout and then went to sleep. And then the very next day, that's when I started to feel a little bit more worse. When I woke up, started feeling a scratchy throat, and I was working too, and I was lacking focus, and also I had a headache as well. So that's when things started to get a little bit of a concern, but not too much where I actually thought I had I got COVID. I still just thought, okay, well, you're just a little under the weather. Now day 3 rolls around and I sleep in a little bit. I wake up around 8 or 9ish, and I am not feeling good at all at this point in time. I don't feel like eating. My appetite is just out the window, and I force myself to eat. And I remember eating this popcorn that was white cheddar. I could not taste anything, and it tastes very funny and had no flavor. And then also I went to work as far as having a meeting with the team. And at that point in time, I just notified them, hey, I'm under the weather, all the calls and everything. I just started more so just delegating certain things because I knew something was up and I just could not focus. And shortly after that, I went to the urgent care, to the doctor, to tell them what was going on. And I'm having a little bit of trouble driving. It's not a huge issue or anything. It's just because my head hurts. Still drinking plenty of water. And so I go into the office and talk about my symptoms that I have. I talk about my taste, my head hurts. It's a little difficult for me to swallow. And one of the questions that he asked is that, how's your smell? Can you smell anything? And I thought to myself, holy crap, I did not even think of that. And this whole entire time I remember going to the bathroom, taking the number 2, thinking to myself that, man, I must be really eating more so healthy because I can't even smell my poop. And that was because I had no sense of smell. So right after that, he recommended for me to go and get a COVID test, which is what I did. And that was a place that they actually do free ones. I was in the car, dipped my head out. They did the swab test and everything. And within a couple hours, I got the test, you guys. And guess what the test said? Well, as you know from the title is, I said that I had COVID. So it said that I tested positive. I was like, and when I was looking at the paper, well, it was actually an email. I was thinking that, is this really real that this says positive right across from it? So now we're in the 4th day and I feel a tad bit better, but through the course of this, I'm just resting, drinking plenty of water, forcing myself to eat because I really didn't have an appetite. I remember ordering a burger, ate the burger, and it just felt as if I ate a cardboard box. I haven't ate a cardboard box before, but as I was eating the burger, I was just, there was no flavor whatsoever. It's like a negative flavor, like it tasted like something else, but I had no taste. It was very, I would say, a very weird experience from that in the fourth day. And so I'm resting, I'm just reading books and watching documentaries, because myself is, I get very anxious that I just cannot just sit down and just like do nothing and just sleep the whole entire time. I did rest more with taking naps, but I just couldn't like do nothing and just watch a documentary that was, let's say, Tiger King, for instance. I had to watch something still educational to stimulate my mind in some fashion. So that's the fourth day. And now fast forward, I'm feeling about 75% better on the seventh day, just by resting, drinking plenty of water. I still figured out a way to get a workout in. I just did some push-ups, a push-up workout. I just don't want to just not work out at all. And my head and everything was still hurting, but I feel as if I do nothing, I'll actually be worse off by just doing some type of workout. Not too much to overexert myself, but I still did something to actually get a workout in. And I started to work, get back to that, and start having calls with people. I was still a little bit sniffly when I would swallow, is that I still felt that it hurt a tad bit, but I started putting on some rubbing on my throat, and then actually under my nose, and then on my chest, and that improved things much more. So through this, since day one, now up to day 7, it was more so, I wouldn't even say day and night, but it progressively improved. The first initial days got worse, and then once it started to hit the 4th day, that's when things started to progressively get better. So now it's about around day 10. I feel much better, about 85% recovered. Sore throat is a lot lessened. Headache is virtually just not there anymore. But my taste is about pretty much everything still tasted like cardboard with a hint of salt. No smell. The losing of my smell, and this is what the doctor said, is that when that goes, most people don't realize it, and that was the same case for me until he actually said something about it. So at this point in time, I want to go get a COVID test so I can actually start getting out and getting around people in a smaller setting, such as just boxing. I do boxing every other, well, I would say about 6 to 7 days a week. So I wanted to start going out and doing that, for instance. And so I went and got a COVID test. Shortly after that, the results come back, and it is negative, and I am relieved from that point in time of being able to get that test with that result. Now day 13, 14, that's when I now start to get out in the general population. So I'm no longer in so much of self-isolation, and one of the first things I do is actually go to the boxing gym, get in there, throw my 1-2, which the 1 is the jab, the 2 is the cross, and then my 3. So 1, 2, 3. 3 is the hook. So 1-1, 1-3, and then 1-2-3. Those are my go-to combinations. And then the last but not least is day 30, now fully recovered, which is where I am at this point. My smell is there. I took a poop the other day and I could actually smell it. I wish I did not smell it, but that was the case for that. And now my taste is fully there as well. So I just want to share that experience with you all. It was not fun to actually go through. I feel much better, but it was the whole overall feeling that I did get from that is something synthetic that was actually going through my body, with all the different, the headache, the lose of taste, the loss of smell. It was just a very weird and interesting experience in itself. Not going to go down a conspiracy and say that it was man-made or anything, but that's a whole nother conversation in itself. But it was just different, not the usual sickness that I've faced before. So for anyone who's had it, go ahead and comment below on your experience. Not sure if there's a stigma with other people sharing their experiences with COVID. So appreciate you. Stay safe out there, and That's it. Thank you.